The NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is the answer to what other manufacturers were doing. This fan is the reason why many are willing to pay extra for the Noctua brand name and this new color. But can it deliver the promised look and performance? The Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is one of the most anticipated fans because one simple thing. Its color. While the NF-A12x25 PWM was and still is a great fan for both case and radiator usage, it has one drawback, much like all Noctua products: its color combination. The chromax.Black variant of the NF-A12x25 PWM rectifies this issue with an all-black design and swappable rubber pads on the corners of the frame. The NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is identical in shape and functionality with the regular variant, however it gets the chromax.Black treatment, a different packaging and some extra rubber pads for the corners. These rubber pads are not black, instead they are available in different colors. By default, this fan will have 6 sets of rubber pads, each with a different color. The available colors are black, white, blue, red and green. Quite the selection for quite the price as well, as the NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is available for no less than $33 US. That's just for a single fan. To give you a better idea of what this means, the regular NF-A12x25 PWM fan is available for $31.90 US. So you get a small bump in price for a different color and for different rubber pads. Not a big deal really, I was expecting a higher price bump as that's how many chromax.Black products have been in the past. Not this fan it seems. Before we get into why this fan is great and why all NF-A12x25 fans are great, let's see the basic specs of the fan that is being reviewed here. The NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black has a maximum speed of 2000 RPM and a minimum speed of 450 RPM. There is no low noise adapter included, by the way, but more on the accessories later into the review. The fan uses the Noctua SSO2 bearing system, a system that is known for being durable and quiet. In addition, the hub and impellers are made from a new polymer called Sterox. The main reason why Noctua developed a new polymer for this fan is that they wanted to have a smaller gap between the tip of the impellers and the inner part of the fan frame. A smaller gap means less airflow and static pressure leakage and thus more performance delivered for the same speed and especially for the same noise output. Alright, you got that part, but why the new polymer? It's simple really, the usual polymers can be used for such a low gap, which by the way is only 0.5 mm. Okay, back to the polymer. You see, with such a small gap, eventually the impellers will start to touch and damage the inner part of the fan frame. This is called impeller creep and it is caused by the impellers being stretched out by the rotational forces applied. The new polymer solves that issue and allows this fan to have a small gap of just 0.5 mm. In addition, flow acceleration channels are placed on the impeller surface. The purpose of these is to reduce the noise that is generated by the airflow. Other features found on this fan include the inner surface microstructure, which, just like the flow acceleration channels, help reduce the noise generated by the intake of the fan. In terms of the connectivity, this fan uses a regular 4-pin connector for power and it is fully PWM compatible, which means that you can control its speed either with a fan hub or with your motherboard and software. Thankfully, the cable of the fan is not only covered by high quality sleeving, but it is detachable and it's not really a cable, it's an extension cable that acts as the main cable of the fan. This has been seen before with other fan models and it's used because many people want to have a different cable length for their fans, especially for their water cooling systems where space can be an issue around the radiator. The accessory bundle in the case of the Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is interesting to say the least. Gone are the low noise adapters, the user manuals, the rubber mounting points or the case badge. Instead, you get 6 sets of rubber pads in different colors, a rubber fan frame, an extension cable that I've mentioned already and 4 regular case fan screws. And that's it. Which, when compared to the accessory bundle that came with the regular Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM, looks a bit thin in terms of the contents. Now that we know what makes this fan work, it's time to see how it performs, and that means testing it. However, before the testing, you will get to hear a noise sample of the two fans powering up and spinning up to their maximum rated speeds, which in this case is 2000 RPM. I am doing this because while a decibel value is useful as a metric for comparison between different fans, it does not take into consideration unwanted noises such as bearing ticking, vibrations, or other issues. With a maximum rated speed of 2000 RPM, the Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black reached a maximum noise output of 34 decibels, with the measuring device placed at a distance of 10 cm away from the system and the fans. This places this fan right next to its normal brown variant, as we'd expect, given that both fans are identical and only the color is different. In terms of cooling performance, unless otherwise stated, all fans are tested on a Silverstone Permafrost PF240W ARGB all-in-one CPU cooler. In addition, all fans are tested at their maximum rated speeds. The CPU used for all testing is an Intel i9-9900K running at its factory settings and frequency. The ambient temperature is set at 20 degrees Celsius and the K-side panel is closed to prevent any airflow leakage. And in this test, the Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black matched the original NF-A12x25 PWM, with a steady temperature of 68 degrees Celsius at full load and 40 degrees Celsius with the system at idle. This places the chromax.Black variant of the NF-A12x25 PWM either on the 4th or 5th position in the graph. I say either because the 4th and 5th positions are taken by the NF-A12x25 fans as a whole, both the regular and now the new chromax.Black edition. The Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM chromax.Black is the same fan that we all know, only that this one looks so much better and performs the same for not that much more money. The design of this fan is complemented by the texture of the new Sterox polymer and the new coat of paint, which is not really a coat of paint, it's just a matter of saying. The fan is good, make no mistake about it. Are there fans out there that are better? Yes. There is always going to be someone better than you in some regard, but this fan has the advantage of looking good and being silent, which is a huge plus for water cooling systems which use a higher number of fans than the regular gaming PCs. The question remains, is this fan better than the original Noctua NF-A12x25 PWM? Better? It's the same in terms of performance, but it looks much better, and if that matters to you, then this fan is better for you and it is worth buying. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and also if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and the subscriber star pages of this channel.